uniting to bring you top-notch veteran-run podcasts along with your favorite classic rock music 24/7. Stay tuned for the ultimate radio experience that celebrates our heroes and plays the tunes that never get old. From engaging discussions to timeless hits, this partnership has everything you need for your listening pleasure. Don't miss out on this exciting new chapter in radio history as MB Radio and Patriot Radio come together to rock your world.
Our guest, Toddy One Skip. And
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio and Patriot Radio now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Alora.
And we're so thankful that you guys are back here joining us. And
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, and we're trying to figure everything out. Our intro changed a little bit. It's actually going to change a lot more. We're trying to figure everything out and trying to just get our groove. And it doesn't help when I am technologically challenged.
I'm not any better. I'm not any better. Not one lick. But yeah, we're figuring it out and all's well, though. But we're still going to have a good time today. We have a really nice guest.
Yes, we do. And sorry, I forgot to get the book out. We have Patricia Demetrio, and she wrote Turned Global. And she is also the president and founder of Life Smart Education. And she also runs the PDina YouTube channel.
Yes.
So we are going to have our interview of the week with Patricia.
Interview of the week sponsored by LTD Tactical.
Hello, Patricia, and thank you so much for joining us here on Military Broadcast Radio and Patriot Radio.
Hello,
Okay.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I am so thankful that you're here. And I just kind of wanted to introduce you a little bit. I actually found out about you from YouTube when I was really sick in bed for 6 years. And I couldn't really do anything. So I learned a lot about Meghan Markle.
She did. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah. So from the year 2015 to the year 2020, almost 21, I was in bed the whole time.
Wow.
26 days out of the year, or I mean, out of the month, out of the year.
Yeah. She didn't have very many good days, but
Yeah.
so that occupied a lot of her time.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time learning about Meghan Markle because it just happened to be that time where she just kind of rolled out everything.
Yeah.
And I think you started out kind of, as a supporter and just kind of watching things kind of devolve a little bit and watching your opinions change have definitely been interesting.
Yeah.
We always kind of tease her. She'll kind of run and she'll be like, you'll never guess what just happened with Meghan Markle. And we're like, oh, okay, go ahead, go off, sis, pop off.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so Patricia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your charity, Live Smart Education?
Yeah, so growing up, I've always been a person who loved the royal family. So when I was 12 years old, my dog just came in. He's on my channel.
No worries.
He's here, but he hears me talking. It's like he knows I'm
Yeah.
a performance of or interview or something, because I'm an actor too. So whenever I
Yeah.
have an audition or whenever I'm doing my channel, he comes in.
Pops on in.
But so I just always loved the royal family, and with Princess Diana, and she was a big inspiration in my life personally. She was like almost just someone that I looked up to, and she kind of gave me that like a good feeling, like, because I feel like she was a really good person. And so growing up, I wanted to be like her. I wanted to just do what she did, with the charities and how compassionate she was for people. And so later in my life, I started my charity, which is life skills, teaching young people important life skills to help them essentially be the own architects of their lives, giving them opportunities to understand what's out there in the world, knowing how to behave, knowing important things that you don't usually learn at school, but they are important to life. And so teaching this, modeling my life and, my goals around my charity after Diana was just a big part of me. And so then when Diana died, ironically, I was actually living in the UK at the time, and it was devastating when she passed away. It was horrible. So years later, not much is going on. I didn't really follow the royal family at all. As much, just like here and there with some things, but like the wedding of William and Catherine and a few other things. But then when Meghan came into the picture, really, I had my interest because she was a woman of color and American. There was just so many similarities, and I thought, wow, well, this is different. So then I got interested again in the royal family, while still running my charity, teaching young people these important life skills, giving them access to global opportunities as well. And then I just started to get hooked on all the things that were happening because Meghan was just not doing things the way you would think you would do things given this opportunity. And it is an opportunity. They talk about she loves Harry or whatever, but I think it was more of a calculated goal for Meghan to have this marriage because she had ambition to do other things. And I think that Harry was part of that goal onto her other life goals that she had. And then I saw similarities with what I did with my charity and teaching and important life skills to what Meghan was making all these mistakes. And in the beginning of my channel was all about, Meghan, you should not do this. Why are you doing this? That's not good. Like kind of like vicariously through my channel, trying to show, you've got to be better, especially because you are of color. You somewhat represent, because you go back to how I saw Diana and how much of an influence she was on me, right? So she had a big influence. What about the young girls, boys who are having an influence by Meghan and her behavior?
Absolutely.
That's not a good thing. And I think people look at it in terms of learning, and would you allow someone in your home to behave the way Meghan is behaving towards the royals? That's how you have to look. You can't look at it like, well, she's a Black woman, leave her alone. This, all these things. No, look at it like, really, these are just choices and decisions this woman is making. Would you allow someone to treat your grandmama like this? Would you think it's okay to treat your brother or father, is treating Harry and her other in-laws and her own father? There were just things that this is not okay. And, because I'm an advocate for teaching and learning, I think there is so much that is being lost with Meghan Markle on this global stage because she's not using it for good. She's self-serving and she's doing a lot of damage to vulnerable minds. And I am talking about it because I'm very passionate about it. And I just do it because it's in my DNA to talk about it. And it just happens to be Meghan Markle and the royal family. And so that's why. That's a little bit about me and who I am. I've been doing my charity since 2014, way before Meghan Markle came into the picture. And, I'm just doing what I love, both of these things.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what kind of pushback did you get as a kid loving Diana? And being obsessed with Diana.
Yeah, because look at it. I'm an American Black girl. What in the world are you doing so obsessed with this woman, this white woman in a foreign country? Okay.
Yeah.
She was fascinating, captivating.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like, that's Patty being Patty, because that's what I went by when I was younger, Patty. And they would just say, oh, that's just Patty. I was just always a little different like that. That's me being me. But people, accepted it, liked it, it was okay. I'm not hurting anybody. I just like Princess Diana. So it was just, was kind of like that. And ignored it kind of a Yeah.
No, I got pushed back, and I still get pushed back to this day, thinking or talking about the royals. And, I mean, my family all the time, they're like, oh my gosh, it's another thing.
We just kind of tease you. It's kind of funny the way like I said, she kind of runs up in there. You'll never guess what happened. And it's just funny. That's all. But I very much encourage that interest. So we even have a couple little Princess Diana dolls in the background.
Yeah, we do have Diana.
Yeah, I mean, Diana was just a superstar. I mean, people loved her. Even in America, she was very popular.
Oh, yeah. So. I mean, she was probably the one steady constant in my childhood. Because she died in 96? 97. So I would have been 18. So from 80 to 97, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, she had big influence. I'm sure you saw a lot of things growing up around Diana, because the marriage, there was a lot of news about it in the States. Her book came out, and there was just a lot going on. Yeah, so
it's absolutely
so sad she moved around. So sad.
Yeah. I was just asking about that, like I said, because I just get crud all the time from my family. But you also you lived in Germany, England, and China as a teacher. Well, I mean, you worked as a teacher in those countries.
Yes. Yeah, I've done a lot in terms of being around foreign, children and teaching English, and really understanding, taking a step back. How do I look in a foreign place? Like, what makes me who I am? Because when you live or even visit another country, that there's so much introspection that goes on about who you are as an individual, because you're different now in this world where everyone else thinks completely different than you. And so it was a good learning experience for me to have these experiences. It really opened my mind to just being more inclusive and understanding that my way isn't the only way. As an American, I feel like we were always taught, and I'm sorry to say, like, we're the best in the whole world, It was always those people, those foreigners. Like, that's what I would always hear. And then you go over to these places and you're like, wow, they're doing it, things that we do just differently, and it just taught me so much, especially living in China for a year. It was an amazing experience. Even with all the hardships that I had, it was an experience of a lifetime to be over there and to live in a communist country. It's very different.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I can't imagine that at all. When I read that in your book, I was like, oh, dang, China.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. And even now, I think a lot of the Americans have been kicked out the country. You can't even go there now. Yeah, it's really different now, which is sad, because I knew some friends there that had to leave.
Wow,
So
I didn't even realize that.
Now, in your classroom, did you ever experience any of the racial divides that we hear so much about, like with the different where certain people come from in China? And
yeah,
because I remember hearing something about it being like really bad. People being like completely ostracized from the community and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it is a little different. I mean, I kind of had a good experience, but because I'll give you an example, and I think I wrote about this in my book, where I was going to go teach, and I wanted a job teaching at this English center, and they had already had their teachers. There were 2 Russian girls teaching. But I did a class, and I taught just as a test, and the guy really wanted to hire me, but he already had his teachers. Well, he ended up firing one of the Russian teachers so that I could replace her. And she, I'm Black from America, and she's white Russian. And so for me, I had a good experience like that, but I do see how there is some racism around people of darker color. Now there are the foreign, forget I forget the name of it. They are these foreigners from the Middle East that are over there. It starts with a W. I can't think of the name.
The Uyghurs?
Yes, the Uyghurs.
Mhm.
They are definitely treated differently
Yes, I've heard a
over
lot
there.
about that. Mhm.
But you know what? It's a lot different. It's not so much your skin color. I think it's more about you being a foreigner because
Mhm.
okay, so like there's this one situation when I went to a store to buy some shoes. I think I wrote this too in my book where I told the lady I wear a size 9 and she was like offended. Like, what? I didn't size 9, like in her Chinese, she was speaking like that. I had to leave. I couldn't, I don't know size 9. No, we don't have size 9. It was just so weird. Like she was so rude. I'm like, I'm sorry,
Oh
my
my
shoe
goodness.
sizes are 9. Is that a problem? It was just weird. So I think sometimes just coming over being different is the problem
Yeah.
more than your race.
Mhm.
It's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Well, America definitely has its own reputation in a lot of
yeah.
parts of the world. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I had heard a story. I can't remember what it was about exactly. Like I said, I have cognitive therapy problems or cognitive problems, and I use this podcast for cognitive therapy. So I don't remember everything, and I'm trying to use this to start kickstarting my brain to talk again and
Yeah.
to research again. But I
Yeah.
remember hearing about how certain children in the classrooms would be treated differently depending on if they came from like the countryside or
Yeah.
the city or what their religion or whatever was.
Yeah, so okay, so where I was teaching, the student, I mean, you had to pay to go to school, like even the younger kids, they have to pay. But I can imagine if you are from the country and you get darker from being out in the sun, like that's
Mhm.
frowned upon, and it shows a sign of your wealth or not wealth, because if you're dark that means you're outside in the sun working,
Yeah.
and that's not good. So they really do pride themselves on having no sun on their skin. Like they will walk around with umbrellas all throughout the day. Like you go to China in the summertime, everyone has an umbrella and they don't want to get dark. It's a bad thing to
Wow.
have
Wow.
skin. Yeah, so I can see that for sure. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to go to a break now. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Harry and Meghan and that whole mess.
Oh yeah,
Gonna get
it's a
into it.
mess. Yes,
So
okay.
thank you everyone for watching and stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Introducing J&J Beard Co., your go-to destination for high-quality handmade and natural beard products. Our family-owned business, based in New Jersey, prides itself on using the finest ingredients to bring you premium products that will elevate your grooming routine. Each product is carefully crafted with love and expertise, ensuring that you get the best care for your beard. Treat yourself to the luxury of J&J Beard Co. and experience the difference that true quality and craftsmanship can make for your beard. Join the J&J Beard Co. family today and unleash the full potential of your facial hair with our exceptional products. Find them on the web at jjbeardco.com. That's jjbeardco.com. Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio and Patriot Radio Now. And remember that you can also watch us on Roku and on Fire Stick.
Fire Stick. And real quick, we just want to do like a little shout out to some of the people that are in chat. We want to say hi to Para Women Radio, Exotic Perry 35, Laura Lynn, Joel. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. And yeah, we're excited to get back into it.
Yeah. So, Patricia, tell us a little bit about, I know you told us a little bit about why you pay attention to Meghan Markle and talk about Meghan Markle, but what, like I was telling you behind the scenes, there are so many people when I bring Prince Harry up or I bring Meghan Markle up, and they just are like, oh, why do you talk about them? They don't matter. No one thinks that they have any significance. People don't think that they have any pull or anything like that. And so why are we talking about them? Why are we highlighting their deeds?
Well, I think there's two reasons why. At least I know why I watch it. Because first of all, everyone loves a train wreck, right?
Yeah, that is true.
You see a car accident and you're driving down the freeway, you're going to look.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter to you. You should just keep driving, right? Why do you need to look? But when you see something that is like, oh my goodness, like you want to look because you just can't believe it. What happened? What? How did what? And I think that's part of it for a lot of people is that they just cannot believe it because when you look on the scale of how ridiculous this couple is, what they are actually doing, how they have blown such major opportunities, especially Meghan as an American marrying into this royal family, you cannot believe you blew this opportunity. It's I'm gobsmacked by it. What? So that's one reason I think why a lot of people watch it, why I think, we talk about it. But the other reason is I think Meghan is a very tenacious woman. She is trying to get into spaces that could affect our lives. Really, she could. I don't think that she's going to get there easy, but that's how tenacious she is. I mean, if you can look at what she's doing on the world stage now, and she hasn't learned anything yet, she hasn't tried to change things, go make up with your father. I mean, she doesn't care. She will do any and everything she can to get what she wants. And there are some people that love her. There are some people that think this woman is doing a great thing. They have given her this sense of empowerment to think she's making good choices, but she's not. So
Yes,
I think because of Harry, what he has said about the First Amendment, what they're doing now around, misinformation and the internet and trying to combat people giving out information that they call misinformation or trolling or saying things that they don't like. They are seriously, and I mean seriously, trying to make headway with things that they feel passionate about. So I think it's just important for us to be just as passionate about smacking down any nonsense that they try to bring that's going to infringe on our rights or infringe on us as individuals, because I think you have to show the other side of their propaganda, and it is propaganda. They are using ways to mislead people with information that is not truthful. You're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of very vulnerable young people with your behavior, going into the royal family and having these relations that are so strained now doesn't speak well for you as an American in cultural awareness and getting along with people in a foreign country. I mean, you have a role, and your role is to be a good model and example to represent American and women of color in a good way. That's her responsibility because she has that kind of a platform and she's not doing it. And so I think the pushback that they get, they need to get that, because otherwise, if there's no counter to their poor behavior, the sky is the limit for them. And I'm too passionate about educating young people, making good choices, than to allow her, Meghan, and Harry to continue running roughshod in America and showing people things that they should not be doing, because it's not a good thing for young impressionable minds to see them as examples. People need to hear that they have made poor choices and why Harry and Meghan are not good examples. Young people especially, need to hear that side. And if we don't speak about it, then the only side that's going to come out is what Harry and Meghan believe and think, and that's just not good. It's just not.
Yeah, and I've never actually like followed anybody until Meghan Markle, and then now, unfortunately, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I've never followed anybody, but ironically enough, both of them act very similar, which is kind of scary. But you did highlight something earlier. You talked about the opportunity that Meghan and Harry had.
Yeah.
The very fact that they were given the titles or positions of president and vice president of the Commonwealth, I think that could have been such an amazing opportunity. They could have done some really great things. But I feel like Meghan came in to the royal family in the position looking at it as an influencer position instead of a job, or as
it is a job.
It's a whole job.
100%.
I mean, you're not just marrying somebody, you're coming into a whole position, and then to totally give up that position and then come here to the US and hawk jam and not ever have anything come to fruition. I mean, her podcast, she did, but she only had one season of it, and from everything I understand, she didn't actually do most of the work on it. And the people that listened to it, rage listened to it. I mean, it wasn't, because they were interested.
Fan base,
and so I just, there's so many things about them, but they could have really done something amazing with that Commonwealth position.
And I think the saddest part is, like, it was just such a great opportunity to not only have an American, in that family, but also to have a woman of color in that family. And it's like, we all had such high hopes, and they could have done so much for so many different groups of people. And it's like, they've just completely shattered all of it. I mean, there was so much opportunity there.
Yeah, and that just shows you that she's not really out to do things to help people. It's not really about the people, is it? It's not about the good work. It's about elevating her profile. It's about all these superficial things that don't really matter. What matters is you're in a great position to do really good things, to really help people. And now let's look at all the people that help, the good influence or the profile she could have brought to a lot of good work in the different countries of the Commonwealth. It's not happening now. There's so much that has been lost that could have been a great thing for people. And now it will never happen because of her ego and her narcissism and her self-serving behavior. And that is really sad and tragic. And it would have been a great thing for the royal family to have someone like Meghan. And they wanted her there to even, I think the Queen said at one point that, they could have been in Africa. They could have done things, that could have been their home base. It could have been going around to the Commonwealth doing great work on behalf of the Queen at the time. And now it's not happening. And so I think she should be called out. It is the responsibility for people to actually look at now what they're doing, because you should not allow someone who was trying to get by the way Meghan and Harry are trying to, and they are literally trying to get by. You can't let them just try to do what they're doing without having some opposition to that, because they don't deserve peace in the space that they're in right now because of what they have done. They have done a real tragedy to great people and work of the royal family. That no, they will not rest because no, not as long as I'm able to speak about it, and others. We got to talk about it because of what's been lost.
Yeah, and the mystique of the royal family has definitely lost its luster.
Mm-hmm.
The I don't know.
It's become a joke, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say a complete joke, but a lot of people interpret it as a joke, I should say, rather than it's become a joke. But like, I mean, it seems like a lot of things aren't going for them at this current moment in time, and it's just really sad to see.
And I mean, think about what Tyler Perry said when he talked about in the Netflix documentary that they should not have even done, where he talked about how she wanted me to be the godfather to her child, but I wasn't going to go to that country. I wasn't going to go over there. And this is how he talked down about the British people in the country. It's like, you're supposed to be like an educated man. Like, why would you talk about the country like that? That doesn't behoove you to have that kind of snobbery attitude about a country you've never been to. You know nothing about these people. You don't even know anything about the woman Meghan, who you are saying you are supporting and giving her a place to live. Like these are the role models of the people in our country in America that act like this. Like, it's just disgusting for Tyler Perry to even have that attitude. It just doesn't. And it goes against everything that I'm trying to do with my charity. And I guess that's why I'm so passionate about it also, because I want to teach young people how to behave when you go to a foreign country, how to look at other customs that you're not used to. Doesn't make it wrong or disgusting. It makes it different, and you don't look down on other countries and people like that. And what does Tyler Perry do on behalf of Meghan Markle? He does exactly that.
Wow.
Meghan has brought into her role it's just like it reverberates, or it just kind of just starts to come in other areas and places with people where he's on a big platform, Tyler Perry, and like just think of the people that were influenced by what he said negatively about the royal family. Like these things happen. Going back to what I said about how I was influenced by Princess Diana, we don't want this for our young people. It's not good. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say the Tyler Perry thing is particularly disappointing to me because it's not even just this, but like there's so many other things that he's been kind of involved in within the last couple of years, or things that are coming out. And like I watched I have a picture of Mr. Brown hanging up in my room. I watched hella Tyler Perry movies and TV shows growing up. And he kind of turned out to be a piece of not a great person. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's like, oh, that breaks my heart.
We watched so much Medea and House of Pain and all those things, and it's so funny. It's
we put House of Pain on for Franklin to
our dog.
I'm sorry, for our dog, so he likes to have something going on in the background.
Oh, really? Well, he definitely got some buffoonery with that one in the background.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, that's all I had to say about that.
But Tyler Perry, I just think it would do him some good to go visit another country. Get out of your simple mind and go live a little and learn to understand people. Like I just am disappointed in him.
Yeah, I grew up in a military town. So I had all of these different cultures and people around me all the time.
Yeah.
And when I met my husband, I was like so naive. Honestly, I don't know. I just felt so naive because it felt like I grew up in this perfect world of like people get along and every
diversity.
Diversity and all of these different things. And then my husband's like, no, you didn't live in reality, because it's like everywhere else in the world is completely different. And I'm just like, no, I'm telling you.
To take the blinders off and realize that that's not how it is everywhere is pretty sad and jarring.
It is.
Yeah.
So much divide.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to another break, and then we will come back and we will get to talking more about I want to talk about African Park scandal and things like that, because I think it's very important. And I also want to talk about Harry and his wife's treatment of their families. And I think that's important to highlight as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to listen to Cade Roth and the Black Sheep, What's Left of Me Now. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Window daydream numbs my mind. Turn on the lights. I'm still blind. Speed up, slow down. Wheels keep on spinning. I play the game. I'm not winning. I've been east, I've been west, I've been put to the test. I've been high, I've been low, I don't know where to go. I've been lost, I've been found, I've been spinning around. Here's what's left of me now. Butterfly, broken soul, 500 miles from my home. Can you save me from this hill? Can you save me from myself? I've been east, I've been west, I've been put to the test. I've been high, I've been low, I don't know where to go. I've been lost, I've been found, I've been spinning around. Here's what's left of me now. I've been east, I've been west, I've been put to the test. I've been high, I've been low, I don't know where to go. I've been lost, I've been found, I've been spinning around. I've been east, I've been west, I've been put to the test. I've been high, I've been low, I don't know where to go. I've been lost, I've been found, I've been spinning around.
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio and Patriot Radio now. And we have our guest, PDina from YouTube. And thank you again for joining us. And we're going to be talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, his wife, and about how they have gone on this campaign of basically saying that they're philanthropists and that they are humanitarians, and yet they can't even be kind to their own fathers. They can't be kind to their own family. They blanket statement call people racists and terrible people in Harry's home country. And I'm frustrated by that because we all have had trauma in our past, or we've all had issues, but you know, we usually try to work around it and love the people who hurt us, and you know, sometimes you put distance between yourself and them, but it seems like this is completely different. This has gone to the point of where they've completely trashed their families and called them terrible names, and just been really awful to them. So
yeah,
I'm really disheartened by Mr. Markle's treatment, their treatment of Mr. Markle, and their treatment of Meghan's sister Samantha, who is a wheelchair bound woman, and both of them have received a lot of hate and a lot of terrible things coming their way. Do you know Samantha and Thomas Jr. and Mr. Markle?
Actually, yes, I do. I interviewed Thomas Markle Sr. on my channel, and Samantha and Tom Jr. So I do know the family. And from my experience with the family, they're just a very loving family that God put in a situation that has really changed their lives, not because they wanted that to happen, but because of what Meghan did by marrying Harry. And to abandon your family the way she has it's sickening, because this is a woman that now wants to go and advocate on behalf of women and girls, but you can't give common basic decency to your own family. It is unbelievable that you can even act this way on a world stage. Like, this is why people, I mean, even the people that are higher in terms of their profile, they should be calling this woman out. And I think more people are starting to see it, because how can you allow someone to be treated like this and then say you want to go out and advocate on behalf of girls and, you know, women? Like, you can't be serious that that's really what you're trying to do. And you can't do right by your own father. I mean, you know, it starts in the home, you know, and we see how you treat your family. That shows us then, you know, how you will treat other people. And so that lets you know right there, it's not legitimate. The help that she wants to give people, it's fake in terms of she's using it to make money. It's not authentic, you know, support to these people that she feels that she wants to help, because she can't do right by the people that are in her own life. You know, it's similar. I was watching this documentary with Simone Biles on Netflix, and, you know, she made some really good points. I'm going to do a video on my channel about it, because I think it really shows the comparison to, you know, when you come from nothing and you still have family that have known you before you were this high profile person. You know, you have to always know where you come from. If you can't be humble in your beginnings, your roots of who you are not going to be able to be authentic in anything that you do, because you don't have your roots. You have lost where you have come from. This woman is not rooted in anything that is authentic. And I think she has lost her way in a big way, because we're watching her lose her way in real time.
Mhm.
We are watching it. This is why it's a soap opera. This is why I say on my channel, this is the imitation of royal life, because similar to the movie of The Imitation of Life, because Meghan has lost her way. The black girl in that movie of the real classic movie, The Imitation of Life, did not want to know where she came from. She was embarrassed by being part black. She just didn't like the fact that her loving mother was black. Like she wanted this superficial life. And
Mhm.
it didn't matter. In the end, what mattered was the love her mother gave her, was the roots of where she came from. That is what mattered. And
Mhm.
Meghan doesn't see where she comes from matters. It could be a good thing for her to recognize who she is and to show some humanity towards your family. I mean, okay, maybe they've done things you don't like. It's not a reason to embarrass your family on a global stage. It's not a reason to treat them like second class citizens. Oh, is she okay? Oh no. Okay. It's not a reason to show that you don't care for your family, because what happens is you in turn then they're bullied, and then they're treated like second class citizens, and then they don't have a quality of life because of your treatment. So you are doing something that is causing real harm to your family by your actions. And you now want to be a humanitarian and advocate on behalf of people that are strangers, people you don't know. You are a fraud
Mhm.
all the way around. And that is what is so sad, is because there is real hurt, there is real devastation to the people in Meghan's circle. And she wants
Mhm.
to cover that up as if it doesn't matter, it doesn't exist. And we have to wake her up and say, no, we're not going to allow you to try to come into our lives, our homes, as this caring humanitarian and treat people like this. That's not someone that is showing a good heart and love and kindness and respect,
Mhm.
so that in itself should be a sign to people that Meghan is not who she is trying to claim to be. And it also shows you that she's behind Harry and his problems with his own family, because Harry never had these issues with his brother, his father
Mhm.
growing up. It wasn't until Meghan came into his life that we're seeing these things. And so now we can see that Meghan has put her behavior and how she's treated her own family into how now her husband is treating his own family. It goes
Mhm.
across to his family now. And so that right there is just showing you that Meghan is not about doing the right thing. She's not about being a good person that shows basic decency to people, and
Mhm.
people should have a real problem with that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
They should.
Yeah, and I don't know if the royal family was just really good at PR. I mean, I know they're good at PR, but were they just so good at PR and making us think that Harry and William and Catherine had such a great and loving relationship?
Mhm.
Or, was it something different? Was it
Hmm.
chaos and turmoil? Um,
Okay, so let me get this right. I'm sorry. Are you saying that they don't have a good relationship, William and Catherine?
no,
Or
no, what I was saying is Harry used to have a good relationship with William and Catherine.
mm-hmm.
Uh, all the time when Harry was growing up and when William was growing up, it was the two brothers, thick as
Mhm.
thieves,
Right,
nothing
right.
could separate them. And then when Catherine came in, it was, the, wasn't the Fabulous Three. What was it?
It was
I don't know.
Fab Four. I think it was the Fab
Well,
Four.
Fab
Mm-hmm.
Four, but before Meghan came along, they were always together. Harry always had
Mm-hmm.
a smile on his face.
Yeah.
You could see a genuine happiness to Harry back then. And
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, when you look at Harry, he just looks,
Looks
he looks like,
miserable.
Like a shell of his former self. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think is so sad, because as we speak right now, there is an impending disaster that is waiting for Harry. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just inevitable. It's going to happen. And we're going to watch it in real time. Because I'm telling you, it's as sure as I'm sitting here right now, Harry has a lot of hardships that are coming his way. And we know this is a man that has gone through mental health issues, who's had to deal with, he's learned to deal with problems by substance abuse.
Mhm.
I think that, the fact that there are these children, there's a whole story behind the children, but the fact that there are these children that Harry thinks are now his, you're going to be faced with a lot of hardship when it really starts to be bad for you, because you're in a foreign country, you're isolated from your family, you don't have a grounding that's going to help you get through the hardship you're going to have when this woman does leave you eventually.
Mhm.
And you think about, well, if she doesn't leave him, then what happens? Well, he's still away from his country. His friends do not want to come visit him in Montecito because they don't like Meghan.
Mhm.
He's never going to be attached to the roots that he knows that has made him who he is as a man. That will never happen again, because you're going to be forever lost in this foreign land of America. And I can't see how you're going to get through that, considering all the other issues you've had to deal with in recent years.
Mhm.
It's just not easy. And I know myself personally, because I've gone through it. I talk about a little bit of it in my book, because when you have international families like this, and there is a divide in the relationship, and there are children involved,
Mhm.
someone ends up paying the price. And I know that I have paid a price, and it was a horrible time in my life that I had to deal with. And I just see it happening to Harry. And
Mhm.
I don't know how to put it any other way, but that he is going to have real hardships that are going to be almost unsurvivable, almost, because of how bad it can be for you when there's
Mhm.
children. It makes it really hard, complicated with children.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I worry about for him. You know, I never really liked Harry. I mean, to be honest, when
Mm-hmm.
Invictus Games came out and he did that little spoof with the Queen and Obama and everybody, um,
Mm-hmm.
that was the first time where I was like, "Oh, Harry, okay."
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out him and Meghan were dating, I was like, "Okay, I can get on board with this." And then I started to like him, and then eventually, pretty soon afterwards, I, changed my mind about that, which is kind of funny that I guess I just always had kind of an aversion to him for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel really bad for him, even if I don't like him. I feel bad for Megan, even though I don't like her. I pray for them both.
Yeah.
Laura laughed at me, but
Oh no,
I just
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
mean,
it's
you
a bad
almost
thing at
have to
all.
look at it like that. It is a tragedy. It's almost like, our humanity, our good size feels for the part that is not good for them as human beings, because I think
Mhm.
they had put themselves in such a predicament that, and the fact that we're all able to see it and watch it, it must be very difficult to deal with this. Like when I had my issues, I was a private person. Like no one
Mhm.
around the world knew
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was going through, but you're going through what you're going through, and the
Mhm.
whole world's going to know about it. You
Mhm.
times that, what I went through times 10, and they're going
Yeah.
to have a
Yeah.
complete disaster of uh, problems coming their way, because we're all watching it. How
Mhm.
can you even deal with that, knowing you're going through something and the whole world is watching you, and they're writing about it, and they're doing reports about
Mhm.
it, and the scrutiny that you're going to have? I don't know if it's even survivable especially
Yeah.
Harry. I think it's terrible. And
Mhm.
my daughter and
Yeah.
her friend just came in. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, we're gonna wrap it up now, and I want to talk another time with you some about a lot of the other stuff that has gone on with African parks and other things and
Mhm.
Invictus.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about Invictus. I have I have a special interest in that, being a disabled veteran, and being very upset with the way that Harry has made the whole thing about himself.
Yeah.
And when you go on Invictus website or you watch the Invictus documentary, it's all Harry. I mean, that's all you see. And then Meghan is thrown in there, and it's just, it's not
Yeah,
about the
it's a marketing
veterans.
tool now. It's not about the veterans anymore. It's not about the good. It's all about their popularity now and using that platform essentially to enrich themselves. Because we know that the budgets, the monies, that even the people in Invictus have come out and talked about how it's just not what it used to be, and that once again, like their whole shtick, everything about them is now affecting real people in a negative way. And yeah, I can imagine that is a tough spot there for you, and for a lot of the veterans too, because they're the ones that are a part of it, and they're going through things that they should not have to go through, with Meghan trying to put her foot in the money that's being spent. I mean, there's just so much. And then you think about the African part, it's like you are supposed to be the better side of what you're trying to do. Like, there should not be controversy with what you're You should be solving the problems. Instead, you are creating the problems. You are the problem now, right? The people that are part of these things that they're a part of now, they've just compounded that. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is. It is. And okay, so Patricia, can you just tell us? Well, I have a video that I wanted to play from your Facebook, actually, of you going to Lady C's ball. Can you just tell everybody a little bit about who Lady C is real quick, and then we'll play that?
Yeah, Lady C is a socialite, aristocratic lady, very opinionated. She's an author. She's written several books on Princess Diana, the royals. She's very well versed in the life of royalty. She's grown up in those circles, and she is she's become a very dear friend of mine since I've started this journey. And the ball was lovely. It's my second time going to her ball, and I think she's a wonderful woman. I really do like her.
Yeah, I really enjoy her a lot too, and put in a good word for us.
Yeah, okay.
No, but what else do you have going on? Where can we find you? And then I'll play the video of you out.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube under PDINA. It's a play on words. It's like my initials, but also Princess Diana's name is there without the A. So my YouTube channel, you can support my charity where I teach life skills to young people. We definitely need the support of people to just anything you can monthly, $5 a month goes a long way to help us help young people who we don't want to eventually become the problem of a lot of people in terms of, the crime and problems we see in the world with young people. They become our problem when we don't address a lot of the things that we're trying to do and teaching them important life skills. So Life Smart Education is the name of my charity. I wrote a book about my experiences living abroad, and how a lot of it relates to my channel and what I do on my YouTube channel, Royally Teachable Moments. So you can buy that on Amazon or on my website, pdina.net. And follow me on Facebook, because I'm also putting videos out of my little fur baby, my first dog ever, Otis. He's becoming his own star. He's on Facebook, so follow my Facebook channel as well.
Yeah, I've been watching Otis. I
love that. Yeah, it's so sweet.
Okay, well, thank you, Patricia, for joining us, and we hope to have you back so we can have a longer discussion about all the crazy world of Harry and Meghan.
Absolutely. I would
so
love
for
to
your
go
time.
back. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Have a good one. Good night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. Well, I'm going to show you the Facebook video that PDina put out of her at Lady C's summer ball in London, I think, is where she lives. Okay. Okay, that was PDina at Lady Colin Campbell's summer ball. And Lady Colin Campbell herself is a pretty awesome lady. I've reached out to her publicist. I don't know if I needed to reach out to her directly or not, but I reached out to her publicist to see if she will be on the podcast.
So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens as we learn and grow. And I just wanted to say real quick, that dress was so pretty. I hadn't seen that video before just now, but I love her dress. It was really cool.
I know. And I want to, I love just being able to dress up and just have fun, you know. And she was at a real castle. She was at Castle Goring, which I believe was owned by Mary Shelley or somebody like that.
A little piece of history.
Yeah, I know. It's really awesome. And she does weddings there too.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us. I feel like it's been a pretty good episode and we really appreciate having PDina on there with us.
Yes.
Again, go ahead, check out her charity, check out her YouTube channel, check out all of that fun stuff. And
yeah, and next week, I'm not sure what we're doing.
It's a work in progress, but nonetheless, we will make sure that we have a good show for you.
Yes. And by the way, I do have other people, you know, booked, but it takes a while to get people on. So
yeah, I got to work out all the scheduling and stuff. So we do have a lot of cool people that are in the works. We're not going to spoil anything too early, just in case anything happens. But that being said, we have a lot to look forward to. So.
So thank you, everyone, for watching Into the Weeds here on Military Broadcast Radio and Patriot Radio. And we hope that you have a fantastic week. I was going to say, sorry, a fantastic week.
Fantastic week.
Yes. And that you have a blessed night and do something good.
Yeah. We appreciate every last one of you. We want to thank again all the people that have been commenting and liking, sharing, subscribing. Every last one of you. We're trying to build a community and we just appreciate you.
Yes.
So thank you again for watching.
Until next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them.